Hi friends, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Katie, and welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today we're recapping and chatting about Once Upon a Time, episode 304, Nasty Habits. This episode aired on October 20th, 2013. It was written by David H. Goodman and Robert Hull, and was directed by David Boyd. Now, before we get into our recapping and chatting, let's go over a synopsis for Nasty Habits. In the Enchanted Forest. After a fight between him and Baelfire, Rumple wakes to find his son has gone missing. When he tracks him to a nearby town, the sheriff informs him that many of their children had gone missing in the night, lured out of their beds by mysterious music. The following night, Rumple follows the music to the Pied Piper and the group of boys he's lured, discovering him to be Peter Pan. Pan and the Dark One have a history, that much is clear, but in desperation to get Bay from him, Pan makes him a deal. Ask Bay to come home, and he's free. But Rumple is afraid his son will leave him, and he magics them both home without taking the deal, all in the name of protection, even though Bay admits that he knew about the deal, and he would have come home with Rumple if he'd simply asked. And in Neverland, Neil and Gold find each other on the island. After a heated reunion, they formulate a plan to paralyze Pan with magical squid ink to get Henry back. After it seems they've succeeded, Pan throws a wrench in the works by mentioning Gold's prophecy, saying Gold will only kill Henry if given the chance. Neil's distrust of his father comes to a head, and he takes Henry away from Gold to protect him, only to be captured again. Meanwhile, the rest of our heroes search the cave Neil used to call home on the island in search of a way off when they save Henry. They find a star map he made that can navigate them home, if only they had someone who knew how to read it. All the while, Henry falls deeper into Pan's clutches, feeling more and more like a lost boy every day.
That was a synopsis.
That was a synopsis, once I read it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Pan and Rumple and Neil heavy episode, so that does not bode well for our scores.
No, it does not.
No, it doesn't.
The whole time I'm just kind of sitting here like, okay, interesting. Now what? All right, interesting. Anything else? Oh, okay. Like, I was so bored.
I can tell you that this one does not have 0 personal points, only because Regina has some really good one-liners.
Oh yeah, I think I wrote down one of them. Because preteen Baelfire probably made lots of pasta. It's like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Something funny in this show.
Yep. Am I supposed to be impressed he made a nightlight? Our burger of the week of the day, which I actually didn't post on Instagram this week, that's my bad, is the Nasty Habits burger. Comes with a tiny colander.
I like it.
Because I couldn't think of anything else.
So, I need an explanation to what the fuck Gold was doing with his face. Because they're like, oh, so you have a mask, like, saying it's, I guess, like a oh my god. Disguise. And
a
I'm
disguise
just,
mask.
What are you doing? It's a few fingers of paint. What are you doing?
I would love one too. I would love
What was that?
I would love a justification for that, an explanation. I got nothing. Belle's, whatever, Belle, projection Belle, whatever you want to call her. Her thing of, you always did feel most comfortable behind a mask. That's what it is. It's a mask, kind of like the mask of the Dark One. It's all I got.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did agree that I'm like, okay, yeah, y'all got to figure out how you're gonna leave the island. Like, how the hell you're gonna get out of Neverland?
Yep.
I spent most of the episode also just sitting here like, fucking Charming. Charming, stop being an idiot. Please stop being an idiot. Because the whole time, listen to Hook. Listen to the bad guy.
Listen to the smart guy.
The smart guy. Just listen. Just listen to him. Like, that's all you have to do with Charming, just being an idiot the whole time. And oh yes, let's make Peter Pan be the Pied Piper. Hold on, I can say this. Pied Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Say that 5 times fast. Peter Pan is the Pied Piper.
Honestly, for all of the doubling up of ones, that makes sense. If we go back to the Peter Pan with the source material, him like that
does make sense.
That's with him luring children to Neverland. That him being the Pied Piper, sure, why not?
I do want to see more about Pan and Rumple. That I can agree with. I do want to know what the hell is going on there. Because then I'm like, holy crap, Peter Pan is like, I mean, I know he doesn't age, blah, blah, blah. He's really old.
Yes.
really old. Didn't realize he
He's
had been there that long.
he is older than you think.
Oh, lovely.
There's
Um,
more. I mean, because at this point, I don't know how much they've told the actors about the history.
mhm.
Like a lot of what other actors have said when they've been asked about like their character's trajectory, a lot of them will say unless there's like something that's very like story pertinent, like Lana knew that her mother was the Queen of Hearts from Hat Trick because that was important to inform the scene, or Emma or Jennifer Morrison knew the story of her and Neil, whether she knew that Neil was Bay was another thing, but she knew the history there because that was important for her to know in the pilot. I don't know if this is a case of they didn't tell them and like they found out as the scripts went, because sometimes that is the case, especially with these shorter arcs. They will just kind of, the actors say they didn't find out about these things until the script for that episode came out. And
Yeah.
I wonder how much they know, because this was something that I pulled out of this. Pan being so, given that I know the entire story, Pan being so vindictive with Rumple and Bay in the Enchanted Forest feels very off, because it seems very, very pointed at Rumple, given what I know. It's hard. And what they do, this is a hard thing to put into the subtext, especially because Robbie's a younger actor at this point.
Yeah.
Like with the other cast members, I would say like a lot of them would say that they got stuff as they came out each episode, and like maybe there was something in the direction of the subtext that informed earlier scripts, and it happened to come to fruition. It turned out they made a choice that really, really worked for the scripts as the season went on. And it's harder to do that and pull out that subtext when you're younger, and because he's my age, so at the time he was 17.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to do as a younger actor. You haven't done this as much. You can't learn to pick up on those things quite as easily. But like his thing of taking in the boys that feel unwanted and dangling this in front of Rumple's face feels very out of place for an all-powerful being. If he was all-powerful and magical like he wants, why is he so insecure that he needs to dangle this little bit of power in front of Rumple?
Yeah.
It feels off.
Make sense.
Because we're going to see,
doesn't make sense.
Because we're going to see in other ones, like, he plays games with people, but he's not overly vindictive, is the best way that I can say it. Is he's toying with people because it's fun. This doesn't seem like fun. This seems like payback for something that in my mind does not make any sense.
Like, that's why I want to know more of what's gone on with the two of them, because it feels like Rumple did something to really, like, hurt him, piss him off, whatever, and, like, doing anything with Baelfire is getting revenge, but it's sounding like there is no revenge story.
Here's the thing. Based off of season 3, just season 3, Rumple truth. I mean, honestly, here's the thing: is Rumple truly did nothing. And this is one case where Rumple actually didn't do anything. Like Rumple was just involved in the situation. Given something we see in season 6,
good God,
I can kind of very. I'm really grasping at straws here to make any form of connection. Why Pan would be so angry at Rumple?
Mm-hmm. It'll be very interesting when we get to that point, and if anything,
really grasping at straws to find meaning here. I'm trying, because I don't know because there's no, I can guarantee you, there's no way in hell the season 6 plotline was anywhere on the table right now while they were writing it. I can guarantee that. But like,
which makes this feel almost a little underdeveloped. Like it feels like there's so much that could be done with this that I feel like they haven't been doing.
Yeah, I think
like I know we're only 4 episodes in, but like I feel like 4 episodes in, I should know why the bad guy is so bad. When they're going into this like half episode thing or half season thing, I should at least know an inkling of how powerful this guy is. And I don't, and I'm just kind of like, well, do I want to watch? Like, I'm gonna watch the next.
You're gonna, yeah. You don't have too much further to go because the backstory of what happened there is in 307.
Yeah, because for me, I'm seeing like if anybody. Let's say I'd watched this when it was happening, this storyline would have bored me and I probably would have given up.
Yeah. Sorry, 308.
Like
is when that backstory comes up. But no, but honestly, here's the thing is a lot of people fell off here.
I can see why.
Like this story is like it's because I think it's also because it's a condensed storyline. You feel like you should know more at this point, but they are really holding everything until that big reveal. I can pick up on these little like subtle hints of like things here and there of like of what they were trying to do, But on an initial watch, when you don't have all the context, it's hard to pick up on these hints. Because honestly,
I got nothing.
Yeah, which I'm kind of surprised that you didn't pick up that, like, you haven't picked up on something yet. But it's hard to pick up on it, because right now he's just, what he wants is magic. What he wants is power. That's what Pan wants in this situation, and Henry is the key to that. But until everything with Pan's backstory gets revealed, the story can't really move forward.
Because I feel like I'm getting plenty of, I guess, I'm getting more of world building, I feel. I feel like this was good for world building. I'm starting to understand Neverland more. When he's talking about the things with the dreaming and the reason he's bringing the boys over, all the things. I did enjoy getting that backstory, a little bit of not the backstory, getting the world building of it, of like, okay, there was magic in Neverland that didn't just keep them from aging, apparently. There was something else going on here that apparently, I guess, isn't going on now. I kind of getting that, but I'll know more soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll learn again, you learn things piece by piece, because I think also another thing of knowing that it's only 11 episodes of this storyline is it doesn't feel like there should be room for filler, because what this episode is filler mostly. It doesn't move a whole lot forward. It moves some bits forward, but not a whole lot. And so when there is filler in this, it makes the pace feel too slow, because we only have 11 episodes. You're like, but like you said, this did add some world building. It added some history, so we have a little more context for why Rumple needed to separate himself from everybody else, because he's got a history with Pan that he thinks he can play off of. And then you got him and Neil and all of that stuff going on, and the prophecy is looming and all the other stuff. And maybe this episode would be more interesting if either of us gave a shit about Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know.
Yeah, and like I did pick up on too that he didn't just say him and Baelfire, he mentioned Mila too, so like that goes back pretty far as well. I almost was like, oh my god, were they childhood friends or something? Like, this is weird, because he's stuck at 17, so this very well could have been a childhood friend situation. I love that you're just getting to listen to me like throw out ideas, and all.
I know.
So I hope everybody's enjoying this. I hope everybody's enjoying me doing this.
You've said so many things on this podcast that my moderators have messaged me. They're like, oh, she's gonna have fun when she figures out what she said.
I don't know what I'm saying.
There's one thing you said that had us howling, because I cannot wait for that reveal, quite frankly, because it's hilarious. And I can't ask what hilarious. It is. No, you can't. It is from this season, though. Yeah, I can't tell you what it is that you said, but it is from this season, and I can give you one more hint.
Did you make a note of it at least, so that you'd be like, "Hey, this was the thing you said"?
Oh no, I know. I trust me. I will not forget this. Because the reveal of the thing that you said, or the time, basically when I can laugh at you, is
okay.
Basically, the time that I can laugh at you.
What are friends for?
Welcome to our friendship.
Right.
It's gonna be in the episode with the British accent. So it's soon.
Wait, what did I say? What did I say?
You've said multiple things about these two characters.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it's I don't want to say it, because then you're going to guess something, and I don't want you to guess it yet. I want to laugh at you when the reveal happens instead, like a good friend that I am.
You're great. Everything's great.
I love you.
Everything's great. I know. I did actually write down at one point though, this show is a fever dream.
Yeah.
Because we really did go from all of this to Peter Pan is the Pied Piper, and Rumple and Peter Pan might have been childhood friends. Like, it's such a weird sentence. Peter Pan and Rumpelstiltskin might have been childhood friends. Okay. Neil was smart. It pains me to say that. Like, he was smart. I even wrote down, don't make me like Neil.
It's a case of, like, Neil's not wrong to distrust his father, but Gold is also not wrong in that Pan was just bringing it up to drive a wedge between them.
And he succeeded.
And then Neil he got captured. Like, good job, idiot.
Yeah, like, take the power away from the one person that could keep Pan, like, at least at bay a little bit. And then fuck up. Like, he was smart in different situations in this episode, but then at the same time, that's why I said don't make me like Neil, because then he still does stupid shit.
Yep.
So Neil is Neil.
Neil continues to be Neil.
I got so mad at this because I had this moment of like, all right, Emma is pouring her heart out, talking about Neil. Neil's going to walk right up right now, right? Like, they had this opportunity for her to be like pouring her heart out and like, oh my God, he's dead. Only for him to come around the corner and be like, what? But they didn't take that opportunity.
No, because the reveal, it's important. The
Yeah.
reveal of him, of them seeing each other again in 306. It's
I'm not too far away from
important.
that, then.
No, you're not too far away. You're 2 episodes away. It's important for her not to see him until, basically, because what Pan says is wherever Neil's going, it won't be for long, just until he resets the board, because because Pan orchestrates the two of them coming back together.
Okay. What else did I write? I did get happy. I was like, Neil tricked Rumple. Haha. I had that moment, the meme from Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, oh, they said nasty habit.
3
twice.
times.
No, 3? I saw it
times.
twice. Did it happen 3? Oh my god.
3 times.
And just charming. Dear gods, charming. Charming. I've never wanted to slap a character so much in my life.
But can we talk about just the interaction of Killian going, "You don't look so hot, mate. It's 100 degrees in this damn jungle, and I'm plenty hot." Like, I know it's meant that he's hot from the air, but it sounds like he's arguing with Killian that he's attractive.
It didn't. I mean, 2 things can be true at once.
It's the bromance.
But yeah, at the end, I did write down that I'm bored with how we're kind of dragging this out. While I understand it's so many episodes, they have to do it this way. This is how they, it needed to be this way. I get it. But then I wrote, the teenager is scary, but we still haven't been shown just how powerful he really is. I'm like, okay, the teenager's dumb and annoying, and everybody is scared of a 17-year-old. The very, very old 17-year-old.
He's centuries old.
Exactly. But like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand, because, like, this is something I say a lot.
Show me why.
I don't know why people... I not to be like that person, like, hey, can somebody comment and tell us why you like Pan? Because I hate when people ask me to justify their opinions, because the answer is because you do, and it is what it is. I don't think his entire story, I say this a lot, I don't think Pan's story and what they do with him is as compelling. I don't think it lands as compellingly as they planned on it, or they thought it was going to. Just in the end, I think the big reveal that will happen, I didn't see it coming when the reveal happened in 308, but it just, that's Think Lovely Thoughts. And that wasn't as compelling as they wanted it to be, and may just be a case. There's a lot. I very rarely, I can't say it never happens, but I very rarely see people talk about how much they love Pan, and they only talk about the character and what he adds for the story. What I see a lot is people who simp after the 17-year-old. Like, a lot of it is tied into how attractive he is, which, to be fair, we make our jokes about the women are hot and mean, and that's all they need. But, like, I feel like the characters we say that about, A, age, they're older than us, and we are all adults. That's one thing.
Yeah.
B, I feel like they have a little more emotional complexity, even though we jokingly say they're hot and mean, then that's all they need. He doesn't have that. He's not as flat as King George, where he was just vindictive against Charming, kind of annoyingly. Pan is just, he's missing the complexity that the other villains have had up until now.
And, like, if you're 16 and simping after a 17-year-old character, go for it. I'm 30. No, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of what I saw, when this episode aired just over a week before my 18th birthday.
So I was already,
because like I said,
to turn 19.
I am quite, like, Robbie K is like, he's like a month older than me. So for nearly all of the principal photography, he was 17. He didn't turn 18 until probably, I would say, the last 2 to 3 episodes, based off of maybe the last 4 episodes, depending on their schedule. But because they started filming in July. But I was in the RP fandom, and like I got bigger into it in the latter half of season 3. But a lot of the people in that fandom at the time were in their 20s, 30s, and I was seeing the simp posts. And as an 18-year-old, I was like, why? It's weird.
It feels like a Twilight situation.
It does feel a little bit like a Twilight situation. Like, I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. And at this point, the actor is almost 30. But
yeah.
And yes, the character is centuries old, but the actor at the time was 17.
Yeah, I can't. Even like the character, even if they look that age, like I think I've had this discussion before with my husband too. Like, I can't even look at a person in a way of attractiveness if they are not above drinking age.
Right.
I can't. And even at that point, I think I've got some people I've met that I've become kind of close with, like I could say friends,
Mm-hmm.
and still they're like below 25. I still have moments at 30 that I'm like, you're below 25. That frontal cortex is not fully developed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, once you reach a certain age, it's just, I feel like if you're still going like, oh, that 18-year-old, no. Like, even if I'm 30, I don't, no, thank you. No, thank you. Just, okay.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted mermaids, but we got a squid.
You will get mermaids.
I know, but I was so angry in that moment. I'm like, ooh, are the mermaids going to help? And it's a fucking squid.
Well, what's weird is the same shell will summon a mermaid, because it was the same sound effect that the mermaid used in the first episode to summon the storm. Yeah. But that same shell, I believe, will summon a mermaid at the end of 306. That sounds right.
Joy.
That sounds right. So
mermaids are coming. I'm almost there.
Mermaids are coming, and soon 306 brings mermaids, and also the Pinky and the Brain video. So some fun facts from this one. The coconut star map, actually a coconut.
I appreciate that.
I don't know why that made more sense than a plastic one, but it's a real coconut. I think that's cool. The scene where, at the very beginning, when Bae pushes the knife off the table, it apparently took multiple takes because it was too heavy. He kept pushing it, and it just wouldn't go over the edge of the table.
Okay.
It kind of looked like he cute. Physically, like in he's very cute in the final take, having done the fun fact stuff first. It almost kind of looked like he picked it up and threw it, because I think he tried the pushing too many times. Like, he specifically threw it to make sure it went over the edge. At some point in season 5, yes, there's a blooper because someone has to slide a sword across the floor to somebody else for staging purposes, but it doesn't go all the way. So the person that slid it just goes, look at their hands, just like motions for it, just like go, keep going, even though it's just in the middle of the room. I don't know why I find that funny. And it's
hilarious.
I think so. And given who it is, it's adorable. So the drawings on the walls in Neil's cave, the wiki had a list of a few of them, because they mostly make up memories from his life before Neverland.
Okay.
So among them, we could see a portal with hands reaching into it, like the portal from The Return. He had recreated the port and starboard symbol that Hook had drawn in the season 2 finale. And Hook's Hook is also pictured. He does like a little like miniature landscape of London, again from the season 2 finale. There is a spinning wheel. There's a drawing of the Darling family and Nana the dog. There is a mermaid. And apparently the graphic arts designer wanted to create an illustration of Rumpelstiltskin for the cave, but the drawing never made it onto the screen. So it's in there somewhere, but it never got made as part of the set.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been cool.
To show he was still thinking of his dad.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that the spinning wheel got shown as well, I think that does show that he was thinking of the man before the Dark One.
Yeah.
So, as we said before, Pan is also the Pied Piper.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who do not know, I did a very brief rendition of it on our thing. I'll put a link to the Wikipedia for it, but the Pied Piper of Hamelin is the full story, because this was also in Hamelin. He made a joke with this rat hole of a village, because
yeah,
that's what that was. In the town of Hamelin, there was a rat infestation, and a piper appeared claiming to be a rat catcher. He promised the mayor a solution to the problem, and the mayor promised him lots of money. This is how you can tell this is my beautiful synopsis. This is not well written. The piper accepted and played his pipe, and the rats followed him, luring them to the river, where the rats drowned. But the mayor reneged on his promise and refused to pay the full amount of the money he promised him. The piper was angry and vowed revenge. Later on, he came back dressed in green as a hunter and played his pipe again, but this time luring the children from the town, and followed him to a cave, where they were never seen again. There are some versions where there are different kids with different disabilities, so that they could kind of like warn the townspeople of what happened. There was one, a kid, he was lame, so he couldn't follow them quick enough. He couldn't walk fast enough. One who was deaf, so he couldn't hear the music, and one who was blind, so they couldn't actually follow the rest of the kids because they didn't know where they were going. Some versions show the Piper returning the children after extorting money for his services, and some don't. Older fairy tales this is like one that's very much like a cautionary tale of like stranger danger.
Oh yeah.
We don't follow strange people into the woods.
Just don't do it. You know?
Yeah, this one, like I said, there are some parts of it that I like and some parts that I don't. I like the scene in the beginning with all of them when they were formulating their plan, because Emma is still so exasperated by all the magic. She's just, this is where they're keeping Henry, Pants Compound. According to Tinkerbell. Yeah, I know. Still weird to say. Tink is fine. Not sure it's any better. Anyway, she that keeps going with the plan and everything, and like then everyone just has like no. Everyone has no patience for this whatsoever, because like Regina's like, you still have to deal with. Oh, sorry. Tink starts with like, no, you still have to deal with any lost boys once you're inside. I think we can handle a few children with pointy sticks. It's not the sticks you need to worry about. It's the poison they're dipped in. Dreamshade Hook warned us. Good, because one nick and you'll spend the lots of your days poison sticks equal death. We got it. Like, David, listen to the rest of what she has to say, which is, without an exit plan, none of this makes any sense. Like, yes, it was a little bit of a last minute trip, but like, no one has any ideas whatsoever.
Okay, we gotta figure something out.
Like,
or you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta have any idea. And like, I still don't entirely remember how the star map worked. If they did anything with it, except for the thing that I'm thinking of. Because Neverland is one thing. If we do take like the case of what we see from Disney and from the book, is the way to get there is it's second star to the right and straight on until morning. So basically, it's one of those things that like it's very easily moved between the Land Without Magic and Neverland.
Yeah,
because like yes, they used a portal because they went there in the daytime and they would have needed a way to make the pirate ship fly. But we will see that use of like traveling towards second star to the right to get to Neverland versus using a portal. So it's just
okay.
There's more world building to come with how flying ships work. Okay.
I mean, I like world building at least. So
yeah. So the next episode will give us a little more world building into how we'll give some more. Yeah. The next episode will give us more world building into Neverland itself, and the Dream Shade more specifically.
Which is like I am enjoying that aspect of it. I truly am, because I think this is the most bored I've ever been in a Peter Pan iteration, because I like Peter Pan.
I know you do.
Almost every single one I've watched, I have thoroughly enjoyed. You would think I'd like evil Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm. They haven't given you a reason to find him interesting.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Is they've turned that's the thing. Is like your opinion may change once you know everything, which is entirely like I'm like. It's entirely possible that once you know everything, and maybe that'll flavor how the rest of this looks in hindsight, it may change how you feel about him.
Which opinions change once you're provided with more information, and that's perfectly fine.
Yep, you are allowed to change your mind. Everyone's allowed to change their mind about things.
Except for on facts.
Yeah, that's true. When things are irrefutable. Like
bananas are yellow.
Yes,
something like that.
Well, I mean, they're not always yellow. Sometimes they're green.
I know. I went with the wrong thing. My brain's not working.
Here's something
today.
You're not allowed to. Here's something you're not allowed to refute. Regina is in fact not Rumpelstiltskin's daughter.
No, she is not.
No, she's not. I don't care. Because the Miller's Daughter episode went out today, so I was listening to it. And at one point, I think I said, I'm like, people think this. And I'm like, there's no subtext. There's none of this. I'm like, that's actually incorrect. Because, I mean, at the very beginning, Bobby and Lana did play that as if that was the possibility. But then they learned that it wasn't. So they stopped doing it.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
Oh, you have no idea how weird that would have gotten.
Oh, no. I'm already waiting for the rest of the wreath. I'm good. Because I've only gotten so much of it.
Here's the thing, is you'll never stop getting bits of the wreath.
Oh, God.
Because this is something, again, I will say. I say this a lot about the season 3 arcs. I personally found it more interesting. Everything that happens in this arc could have also worked if we'd combined it with the storyline of 3B and used that world building instead of Neverland. Because rather than season 4, which I say a lot is two sides of the same story when it comes to Emma's character progression.
Yes.
But they're not the same storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Frozen arc is fundamentally very different from the Queens of Darkness, but the through-line story that is our main character's character progression, that works throughout the entirety of the season. That you still get a lot of character growth, especially from Emma, of opening up with her family, and Regina and Snow and Emma and all of that. Like, everyone kind of, you've got the forging of your group throughout the entirety of this season, but there's a little bit of it that does feel like they kind of did the same story twice with the same core elements. Like, we're not going to kidnap anybody next season. Not technically.
What constitutes kidnapping?
Not Henry, I can tell you that. It's not. We're not going to be saving Henry twice. Again, kind of, actually.
Oh my god. What is this show?
But it's in different ways.
Dream.
That's not the part of it that I think is very repetitive. There's very core elements of each arc that feels very repetitive. Which is why I think if you reworked the 3B arc, I think you could have created the entire season based solely on that. We would have never had Neverland, and Lauren would have been happier.
But there are people that enjoy it.
There are people that enjoy it, and also, if you're going to bring in Captain Hook, logically, it makes sense you would include Peter Pan.
Yes. I mean, separate rights, but yes.
Separate rights, yes. But, like, just, like, from what people expect. But also, that's why Hook has staying power. Because he was brought in so separately from Pan, and Pan was meant to just be this 11-episode arc. But Killian has staying power because he is tied with our characters, separate from his main story. Like, this whole season, like, because, like, if they had stuck kind of with their same structure of the last couple of seasons, it would be a whole season about Hook and Pan and Rumple and how all of this works together.
I would have definitely given up if that happened. Like,
no,
not with the podcast,
if you'd been watching it by yourself. God. Like, but that's the thing is, like, and then maybe Hook and or Pam would have lasted through the season. Maybe they wouldn't have, but because Hook was introduced separately, he had a chance to form. They made him, I think, from the very beginning, so much more well-rounded.
Oh yeah,
because from the beginning, you get the sense of, is he a villain? I don't really know. It's very morally gray here. And I always say he's anti-hero because pirate and eyeliner, but that's really it. So, I don't really have too much more to say about this. I highlighted other lines that I found interesting.
There's just not much to say about
this. There's not much to say about this episode. It's Neil and Rumple, and they're both right and both wrong at the same time. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this episode. I mean, like, of the very B plot of our heroes, like the maybe it's a tiny colander. Yes, maybe preteen Baelfire. I guess because preteen Baelfire probably made lots of pasta. Snow's look at Regina after that was just like, Regina, you can be annoyed at me later. We're busy here. She's like, is now the time to be snarky? Was her face, which was funny.
Oh, it's always the time to be snarky.
It's always the time to be snarky with Regina. But like with the therapy island stuff of Emma rightfully being upset at Neil for dying, like. She has
part of the grieving process.
It's part of the grieving process because she's like, I'm angry. She's like, I'm so angry because I went to jail thinking he didn't love me only to find out that he did when it was too late. Like, that is a very fair thing to be angry about. And then Snow has the very natural response. And I was like, finally, you admit it. I have no idea how to comfort my own daughter.
Because you abandoned her.
It's like, it's the first thing a mother learns. And I'm like, but like, here's the thing is like, it's because she's trying to comfort a child. That's the thing is she's trying to rely
Emma's not a child.
She's trying to rely on the motherly instinct that, I mean, that happens, but that's telling her to comfort her like she would comfort a child. And Emma is an adult with complex emotions.
Who does not want to be treated like a child.
She does not. She's like, and which is like why, she did the right thing. If she expressed her feelings and she walked away, basically. Which honestly made that interaction, all of that interaction of Emma admitting that she's still angry, that she can't yell at Neil for dying, basically. Snow being upset that she can't comfort her own daughter, and then the bit between her and Charming where she says, if you died, I would not be able to move on. The dramatic irony of what I know of what's going to happen in 306 makes all of that so much more heartbreaking.
You know, I have like a few weeks until I get to see that.
I know, we're taking next week off, but here's the thing is I think you can figure out one bit of it. At this point, Jennifer Goodwin's pregnant.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Charming, you fucking...
So there's a lot going on.
Charming!
So, luckily, Snow White is not currently pregnant.
All I can think though, I want to go Gordon Ramsay on this at this point. I'm like, Charming's a fucking donut. Like, just
He's an idiot sandwich.
he's an idiot sandwich. Like,
But
Charming
yeah.
is an idiot sandwich. Just tell everybody.
But-
you never know.
So this like as I mean, obviously at this point, Jennifer Goodwin and Josh Dallas have 2 kids.
Yeah.
Her first pregnancy does get written into the show in a way that is kind of unfair to Emma.
Oh,
Kind of. We'll see how it goes.
I see what you mean.
There's going to be a wedge that's going to get driven between them. Not just because she's pregnant, but it's just there's going to be some conflicting emotions of, I know my mother loves me, but it kind of feels like I'm being replaced.
Because, and Snow probably sees it from the sense of like, I never got to actually be a mother at this age. I'd like to experience it.
I mean, that's what it is, basically. So it's...
that's easy to pick up on.
Yeah. So that's why I said, I'm like, this is something just to hold you over until 306 when everyone has these big emotional feelings and there's going to be way more Therapy Island. It's going to be the therapy caves.
I need therapy after all this.
Literally the therapy caves.
Like, God.
Is, at this point, Jennifer Goodwin is pregnant. So... I believe, based off of that makes the most sense because they wouldn't have written it if she wasn't already pregnant. So it doesn't. They wouldn't have done that in 2 episodes from now if she wasn't already pregnant. So,
I mean, that's the life of working with anybody, though, because women, people with uteruses, they get pregnant sometimes.
It happens. So, and it was like not the joke, but Ginny has said in other interviews, it's like that they didn't get married until she was like 8 months something pregnant. Like the pregnancy was very much planned, and they were like, yeah, we're cool, we're hip, we don't have to get married even though we're having a kid. Then like eight months in, she just had like an epiphany of like, I need your name, I need your health insurance, I know I have my own, which is fine, but I want yours. Like she just like came home, I guess, in a rampage of like, we need to get married right now. So. And they've been married at this point for 10 years.
Awesome. Marriage is interesting.
Marriage is interesting, so I've been told.
Yeah.
So what'd you rate this one?
Oh God.
I look forward to this.
I gave plot a 6 because I enjoyed the world building. I was very happy to get the world building. I enjoyed that aspect. It made sense for Peter Pan to be the Pied Piper. Like it was like, oh, that's a fun twist. It wasn't like, oh my God, they really did this. It was actually very much like, okay, like not bad, but it was boring.
Yeah.
Character I gave 7.
Okay.
Neil impressed me a little bit, but he was still Neil. Regina and her one-liners, and just Hook was present.
Hook in general.
Hook in general. And then personal is also a 6. So this is a 19.
It's funny
Still, it's gonna be higher than yours.
I mean, absolutely it is. 'Cause it's really funny that you were like, oh, let's find out what this is gonna be. I gave it an 8 for plot because, like, at the end of the day, it moves forward enough of the plot that I think it's necessary. Like, it's not only does it move forward the plot of Henry, Neverland, Neil, all that other stuff, and Neil literally being reset on the board, kind of thing. Like, that's very necessary for everything to go forward. They found a piece of the way home. There's that. But then also in the Enchanted Forest, it's that further wedge between Rumple and Bay that leads Bay to. Also, we got to see the inception of Rumple's idea for a castle.
Oh, true.
And since he does mention that to Bay, that would imply that that's why Neil knows that he has a castle. He just kind of assumes that after the fact, his father actually built it. It gets 3s for character and personal.
Damn.
The 3 for character is honestly for Therapy Island moment because that's very necessary. I kind of don't care what happens to the rest of the characters. They don't do a whole lot. They just kind of fight with each other. But Emma admitting her hurt and Snow and Charming having that moment. Yes, Charming's continuing to be an idiot. But that's it gets some 3, and then personal it gets 3 again. Like I said, 3 personal points for Regina's one-liners and the children with pointy sticks and poison sticks equal death. Like it has some funny moments.
Yeah.
So it gets a 14, which is not the lowest score I've given an episode so far.
It's not.
It still beats The Outsider, which has a 13.
Damn.
But yeah, Nasty Habits.
Generous, apparently.
Yeah, Nasty Habits was never one of my favorites, and now I'm actually curious what I gave it on my old scale. Let me take a look.
I just have too many questions and not enough answers.
One day. One day you will. Okay, so honestly, what's really funny is on a completely different scale, it gets almost the exact same score. I gave it so my old scale was 5 categories, 5 points per category, so it was a total of 25 possible points. It got a 3.2 for character, a 3.7 for continuity, a 4.2 for plot, a 2 for pacing, and a 1 for personal, giving it a whopping 14.1 out of 25.
You're consistent.
I'm very consistent, but like that's, I guess that's 14 out of 25 is a little better than 14 out of 30, but still not that great.
Not that great.
So,
no.
But yeah, really, honestly, it's just the children with pointy sticks that wins it for me. Regina, she'll get back to having more fun things to do in episode 6. She'll have a lot of fun things to do in episode 6, and I have some fun tidbits for that one. That's Ariel.
I'm very excited. I'm never going to stop calling Charming an idiot sandwich now, though. He has a new name added to the long list of all his various names. It's Idiot Sandwich.
David James, Charming, Idiot 2, Idiot Sandwich.
There we go.
It's all of them.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Bob's Burgers Season 5, Episode 21, The Odor Games. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Lauren and Katie and edited by Lauren.